Okay, you guys, okay, so this is my 2026 Men's March Madness brackets. So I'm going to start in the East Division and make my way through every division of the bracket. So I have Duke beating Siena, I have TCU beating Ohio State, St. John's beating Northern Iowa, and I have an upset here because this game's in San Diego. I have California Baptist from our conference in the WAC. I have them upsetting Kansas, and I have South Florida, the 11th seed, upsetting 6th seed Louisville. And I have Michigan State beating North Dakota State. Michigan State beating North Dakota State. I have UCLA beating UCF, and I have UConn beating Furman. There they are. And then in the second round, of course, oh no, I guess we'll go to the West next. So the West, I have Arizona winning. I have Utah State winning. I have High Point upsetting Wisconsin. I have Hawaii upsetting Arkansas because that game is in Portland, I believe. That's going to be a home game for Hawaii. I have BYU beating either Texas or NC State, but I think NC State's going to beat Texas. I have Gonzaga beating Kennesaw State. And in the second round, I have BYU beating Gonzaga. I have High Point beating Hawaii. I have Arizona winning their second game. Also in the first round, I have Purdue beating Queens and Miami beating Missouri. And then Miami upsetting Purdue in the second round. I have Arizona beating Utah State in the second round. And then I have High Point beating Hawaii in the second round. And then now in the South, I have Florida winning. I have Clemson winning. Vanderbilt winning. I have Troy upsetting Nebraska. I have VCU upsetting North Carolina. And then I have Florida beating Clemson in the second round. I have Vanderbilt beating Troy. I have Illinois winning in the first round, and then I have Illinois beating VCU in the second round. I have St. Mary's beating Texas A&M, and I have Houston beating Idaho. I have Houston beating St. Mary's in the second round. And then in the Sweet 16, I have Houston beating Illinois. In the Elite 8, I have Vanderbilt versus Houston. I have Vanderbilt beating Florida in the Sweet 16. And then I have Houston going to the Final Four over Vanderbilt. And now in the Midwest region, I have Michigan winning. I have St. Louis beating Georgia. Akron upsetting Texas Tech. Alabama winning. Tennessee beating most likely Miami, Ohio. Virginia winning. I have Virginia beating Tennessee in the second round. Alabama beating Akron. Michigan beating St. Louis in the second round as well. And then Michigan, well, at the bottom here, I have Santa Clara upsetting Kentucky, and I have Iowa State winning in their first game too. And then this is who I have in the Final Four. So Houston, UConn, Michigan, Arizona. I have Arizona beating Michigan and Houston beating UConn. I have an all Big 12 championship game. I have Houston beating Arizona in the national championship game, getting revenge from last year, and 138 total points to be scored. I have Arizona beating BYU, I think in the Elite 8 or Sweet 16, something like that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my